In my previous video, I talked about the 16 to 35mm f2.8, and today I will be comparing this to the f4 version from Sony. My name is Mark Bergering, and I'm a professional photographer alongside my wife Brenda. This is our YouTube channel, The Bergerings, where we shoot gear reviews, tips for photographers, and inspiration for creativity and adventure. Let's get started. So if you picked up a Sony E-mount full-frame camera like the Sony A7 series, you might be looking to get a 16 to 35mm lens to pair with it. The 16 to 35 comes in two versions, the f2.8 and the f4, and today we're going to be talking about the differences between the two and why you might choose one over the other. So each of these lenses has a few pros and cons that we're going to talk through. The biggest difference between these two lenses is the size and weight. The f2.8 version is obviously larger, and the f4 is smaller and lighter weight. The biggest difference there is low light performance. So if you find yourself shooting in dark environments, you might want to opt for the 2.8 version, whereas if you're just shooting in the daylight, the f4 version is going to be adequate. Normally, I'm a big fan of lighter weight equipment, hence why I chose the Sony mirrorless system. But in this case, the performance of the 16 to 35 f2.8 in low light and just overall is a big enough factor that I've opted to go for the heavier weight version. Optically, the 16 to 35 f2.8 is just a bit superior to the f4 version. It's sharper, has better contrast, and better color. I've found that the f4 version sometimes has a little bit of a green tone to it. Maybe that was just the version I had, but that was something that I didn't like about it. I've also found that the f2.8 version, being weather sealed, is a little bit more durable. I never had any issues shooting in the rain with the f4 version, but I appreciate that the f2.8 version has an O-ring where it mounts to the camera, and it just seems a little bit more weatherproof. The f2.8 version is a G Master lens, so it's just a little bit higher caliber, and you're gonna get better image quality as compared with the f4 version, which has been out for a while now. As far as features go, the f2.8 version comes with a autofocus manual focus switch, whereas the f4 version doesn't have that. The f2.8 also has a focus hold button, which some people use they link it to eye autofocus, and that's a handy feature. Personally, I don't use that very much, but the AF/MF switch is handy when you're shooting video. Another big difference is price. It's a big factor for a lot of people. The f2.8 version comes in at $2,200. The f4 version comes in around $1,250. You might be able to find them used for a little bit less money, but that's the new out-of-box price. In my case, I opted for the more expensive version because some of those features were more important to me, but if you're on a budget, definitely opt for the f4 version. So in summary, what I think are the three biggest differences are image quality, size, weight, and price. I think it's important you consider those three factors when you're deciding which lens to get and weigh them against the subjects you'll be shooting and how much you're looking to spend. And then I think you'll be able to decide which lens is going to be best for you. If you want more details about the 16 to 35 f2.8 lens, check out this video where I give a little bit more in-depth review. Hope you found this interesting. If you're interested in more gear reviews, inspiration, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below on what else you'd like me to review.